Good evening, and welcome to the Main Street Sports Podcast. I'm Cody, that's Kale, and tonight we are joined by Colin Pfeiffer for a special podcast where we are going to play the Coaching Carousel Game because Wednesday's show on the short week will be predictions for the weekend, and then crap's going to hit the fan Friday and Saturday with coaching's getting fired, coaching announcements getting made. It's already came out that the Mississippi announcement will come out after the Egg Bowl, so we'll see what happens with Kiffin. But that is where we stand right now. So, welcome, guys. How we doing tonight?
Awesome.
Pretty good. Colin, I want to know your thoughts right away. What do you think about the Mississippi Ole Miss waiting till the Egg Bowl to make the announcement?
Well, I mean, you're not gonna. I mean, obviously, Kiffin's not going back to Ole Miss. I think that's probably pretty clear if he hasn't signed an extension at this point. So obviously, he's going to announce after the game that he's taken a different job in the southern part of the United States.
I agree to that as well.
Yep. Is it general consensus that we think it's LSU?
No,
I think it's LSU.
You think it's Florida, Colin?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm torn personally on where I think he's going, but it's hard to argue the amount of money that LSU is slated to offer.
Yeah, with I think Ross Dellinger reported Friday, $90 million to Lane Kiffin plus a guaranteed $25 million a year towards the roster.
Yeah.
Which Florida's going to be able to match any offer. Florida and Ole Miss.
And that's Kiffin leaking that information to see if he can't get a sweeter deal from somewhere else, I think. Like that information isn't just coming from inside sources. Like that's Jimmy Sexton trying to leak information to try to drive the price up.
Yep, and
playing the leverage game.
Yeah, especially with everything that's gone on at LSU in the past 2-3 weeks with the president and the athletic director. They're finally getting some cohesion in the athletic department and the school, but if you would think that this would not get leaked if they're trying to form a strong base there within the university.
Yeah, I mean, and part of the reason why I think that Kiffin goes to Florida and not LSU is because of the turmoil that's surrounded LSU and the firing of Brian Kelly. We've heard Coach Rule say it a lot, about Nebraska and how everything, the president, the AD, everybody is aligned.
Yeah.
And so I just think with what's publicly came out of the LSU situation, I'm not saying that Florida's probably in maybe a better spot, but it doesn't seem like there's as much hoopla going around Florida right now,
especially with the whole the court stuff going on with Brian Kelly, trying to sue the university.
I didn't know Brian Kelly's son plays at LSU. They honor him at senior day yesterday, and he had to walk out by himself.
And he's wearing the whole thing free Brian Kelly. Yeah.
That was impressive. So, nothing too crazy went on yesterday. Like, I think the craziest part of yesterday was Dan Lanning calling out the SEC conference. But
after they played Montana State earlier in the year.
Yeah. So I thought that was like the most wild thing to happen. Pitt kind of took it to Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that was one of those games where you kind of had a feeling that Pittsburgh was going to be able to put up a ton of points because Georgia Tech's defense has just been abysmal the last few weeks, especially with the showing they had against Boston College.
Well, and you knew Georgia Tech was in trouble because, Pitt's run defense is so good, right, Streeter?
Now, Oh, I can't wait till Wednesday because you brought this up on last week. How how chaotic would it be if Pitt beat Georgia Tech and Georgia Tech turns around to beat Georgia?
Now, considering last year's game, you throw the records out because Georgia Tech didn't have a great defense really last year. And that game was just a shootout.
Yeah.
Like that was just the Haynes King show willing his team to the potential victory, which they lost in a gazillion overtimes.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. I think Georgia's kind of peaking at the right time. So I think with the way how close last year's game was, I think Kirby's going to want to put it on him pretty hard.
Yeah. Rough go for old Haynes King. I think his Heisman runs over.
Yeah, you got to be kind of flawless, I think, if you're coming out of one of those conferences. Like, kind of like, obviously Cam Ward last year was so good.
Yeah.
And King has had some turnover issues and stuff. But, like, if there was a tough man, a tough man award, then obviously he should get that.
Yeah. And then obviously with the numbers that Pavia and Jeremiah Love put up yesterday, like they're right there in the conversation.
Yeah, well, I think that, like, with Jeremiah Love, specifically, like, he's kind of asserting himself as a dominant. He already was, I guess, but he's kind of entered the race, and I think as a non-quarterback in a year that I don't think there really is a real strong candidate, it'd be hard not to like lean toward Jeremiah Love, but at the same time, that'd be hard for a lot of people to accept Jeremiah Love getting the Heisman this year when Ashton Genty didn't get it a year ago, in my
Correct.
opinion.
Yeah.
What about Fernando Mendoza? Like
Yeah.
he's not a strong candidate.
Oh, I think he's right. Him and Sane are at the top.
I guess like I guess my point was that is like you don't have it's not like a Cam Ward or a Vince Young type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, in terms of strength. Like, yeah, I think he's a great candidate and probably front runner right now, but I don't see him in the same light as I see a Vince Young, he's not a transcendent player in my opinion.
Oh,
Right.
Vince Young, the second biggest snub in the Heisman Trophy.
Right. Yeah.
So the Big Ten championship game is essentially the de facto number one seed and the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
Winner gets the number one seed and the Heisman Trophy.
Was that Klatt that was saying that last week too?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it was Klatt's like, yeah, this game's pretty much going to decide the Heisman Trophy.
That's interesting. I didn't even know that Julian Sane was that high in the odds.
Yeah,
But
I
I haven't looked in a while, so
I just think it's he's played better throughout the year. Ohio State hasn't lost, and he's been a big reason why they haven't lost.
Especially like last week, not having Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. And with Carnell Tate, that's the third game in a row he's missed now.
yeah, but you could argue that Ohio State's played literally nobody in the conference, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe not in the way that it was supposed to be, but when they played Penn State, they were still reeling.
Yeah. That's one thing that really disappoints me about the game Saturday is Justice Haynes being out for Michigan. Because he's a huge difference maker.
I don't see any planet, but at the same time, who would have thought that Michigan would have went into Columbus last year and freaking won that game with who they had playing at quarterback?
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like even though the records are different, it's the same dynamic. Like, Michigan's not going to be able to score. That's the whole story. Like, can they score on this defense?
No.
And I would say no, but I would also
don't
said
think
no
so.
last year too.
Yeah.
So
They were a 28-point favorite last year. 27.
yeah. Yeah, did you see I don't think I sent it to you guys, but did you see the stat where Kirby Smart's freaking 0-15 against the spread when he's a 38-point favorite?
No.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't run it up on teams.
Right. He must be one of those. If goes around, it comes around, guys.
Right.
You know,
Like look at their score from yesterday. It was like 38-3.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, but
Dude.
it's a rest game. It's a like
Right.
I saw this on X talking about how Jeremiah Smith and some of these guys are getting PTO games in the Big Ten, and it's like you guys have them built into your schedule on purpose to freaking have a rest game.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like just because the schedule turned out to be Patsy doesn't mean it was supposed to be.
It's wild times happening. Well, we've gone 10 minutes. Let's jump into the coaching carousel. Um, we have obviously the bunch of jobs that have come open today. Cal came open with the firing of Justin Wilcox. Interesting interim coach there. I don't know if you guys saw who they announced.
Yeah.
I did
Rolovich.
not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one that I could see taking that head coaching job. But I don't know what Cal's going to do because there's going to be a lot of craziness that happens these next 2 weeks. Because so the end of the season is Saturday. And then what? Signing day's Wednesday? A week from Wednesday?
Yeah.
So things are going to happen quick.
Doesn't that firing just seem like a little bit of like an overreaction?
Yes.
Like he's got a true freshman quarterback that's killing it.
Yeah,
And he
he's
just
good.
beat Louisville the week before.
Right. And I know like his two best players from last year on offense transferred and all that, but I mean it just I was shocked when I seen like I didn't even have that name on my radar.
Yeah, either. I mean, I had him on my radar for like possibly taking a bigger job.
Yeah, we were talking about him taking the Oklahoma State job at
Yeah.
one point, or you were, as like a pipe dream.
I mean, that's not a bigger job. That's like a backward step at this point, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, who's worse right now? Who's the worst like big school? Oklahoma State or Syracuse?
Well, I mean, Oklahoma State's playing some games with a wide receiver playing quarterback.
Yeah.
And Syracuse, last I checked, was playing a walk-on lacrosse player at quarterback. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I'd love to be either coach right now.
Yeah. What do we got pulled up here, Street?
This is the Cal schedule. Just because it's like the timing of this whole thing, as you guys are, I mean, so an overreaction losing to a rival who's obviously not very good. Like Stanford struggled, but Stanford has a couple wins, like I know we had them on 0-12 watch at one point.
Yeah.
But ended up having an okay season for what they could have been. I mean, geez, Louise. They beat
Do you
Florida
want to
State.
know like the biggest kick in the dick? When we were on 0-12 watch, it wasn't even 0-12 watch. Beginning of the year, we said, where would Stanford get a win? And I said Virginia.
Yeah, of
I
all
thought
places.
Virginia was going to be dog shit, and now they're going to probably win the ACC.
But look at
No,
this.
they're not. Virginia's not winning the ACC.
Who's going to beat them?
Pitt.
Well, that's my dark horse and has been all year.
Pitt's got to get through Miami first.
Yeah, that's true. It might be SMU might be sneaking in
I
there.
think
To play Virginia, and then they're going to make the
SMU.
playoff again.
Right. Whoever plays Virginia in the ACC championship is making the playoff.
Yeah. That game's at Pitt, right? Miami.
I can tell you. Yes. At Pitt,
Okay.
11 a.m. Saturday morning.
Oh, is it going to be cold up there?
I don't know. What's your? We've had this argument before. What's your
Definition of cold?
Definition of cold. Because you thought USC players were going to be like they were in the frozen tundra.
They were in ski masks. It's the way they treat it, not because of the way we treat it.
Yeah, the Miami boys. If it's, I would say sub 25, that's cold for them.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think it has to be that cold. Somebody look it up.
I'm looking right now.
Yeah,
It's gonna be cold here.
Make sure you don't pull up your town like you did earlier today.
That was you guys, not me.
Yeah, you guys ready for snow?
No.
No, well, yes, because I don't have to push it like you do.
Yeah, that's gonna be a real pain
Saturday,
in the butt.
Saturday, it's going to be 34 degrees in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
34.
34.
That'll
Yeah,
be all right.
Pitt's winning.
32 at an 11 a.m. kickoff.
Oh
Uh,
boy, that's the definition of freezing. So I think
No,
that's
no,
cold.
no wind though.
Well, that
Carson
helps.
Beck's been on fire these last 2 weeks too.
Is it going to be cloudy? Because if it's sunny, it's going to feel like 50 down there on the field.
No, it's going to be sunny.
There we
Okay,
go.
so it won't be as bad as the actual temperature then.
Right.
That sucks for Pitt.
Yeah. So if you want to get the coaching carousel sheet pulled up, we've done a few already. Colin nailed that Kent State job with Mark
Two
Carney.
2 for 2 so far.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you'll see mine right there with the scratch out on Mike Elko to Penn State because it was announced last week that he is getting an extension at Texas A&M.
Yeah, so that is obviously not a hit for you. We all nailed James Franklin after we kind of got wind of what we got wind of, like
Yeah.
that was easy to
That was
hit
such an
before.
easy pick, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see like all his recruits at Penn State were at the Virginia Tech game this week?
Yes.
I'm kind of surprised at this with how the Terry Smith thing has been playing out though. Like how their players were lobbying for him after last night's
Yeah,
game.
well, good for them because they're all graduating, so it won't matter to them.
Yeah, well, that's probably.
True.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, like that's. I do not think it's going to be Terry Smith at all. Just you fire a guy because he can't win the big game, but it doesn't make sense to retain a staff member.
Yeah, they were talking about that on CBS or NBC. I think it was freaking Chris Sims or whoever that is on there
Really?
that was talking about that same exact point.
But on the opposite side of that point is I've heard quite a few people say he's an amazing recruiter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
He hasn't done it for very long, obviously. He got his first job in college with Matt Rule, for those of you that didn't know.
at Temple.
But, yeah, so anyway, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But he's going to obviously get an interview. But I think they clearly want to go after a high-profile guy.
Yep. So, do we want to start with Oregon State, or
just run down the list.
Okay, so for sure jobs that are open right now: Oregon State, UCLA, Penn State, Arkansas, Oklahoma State, Florida, LSU, Colorado State, Stanford, UAB, Auburn, Cal.
Okay.
There's a quarter of the SEC is open.
Well,
What is the worst job other than UAB? What is the worst job available
Oregon State.
right now?
man, I don't know if it is Oregon State moving forward
Yeah.
with their new deal with the Pac-12.
No, that's true with the new teams coming in.
Yes, that's a horrible job if you're still in two-team league, and
Yeah.
I mean they're going to be 2-10 and won their conference.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma State is the worst job open right now. That is a major rebuild ahead.
Well, and with T. Boone Pickens gone now, they're not
Right.
getting that cash influx.
Where's the money? That's a great point. And it's just hard. It's hard because we grew up through the heyday of Oklahoma State's pinnacle.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's hard to believe because they were dog poo long before we were around.
Well, they're dog poo again.
Yeah.
They're buns, as the kids say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like the new phrase we've been using in text: dog water.
Dog water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sending pictures of what dog water bowls.
yeah.
All right, so Oregon State, that is interesting. They go into the new Pac-12 or Pac-8 next year. So that could be something that is, what's the word I'm like an option that is higher than some other schools would be. And
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to stick to a West Coast guy. Um, I'll just go out first, and I think it's going to be Cody Hawkins from Idaho State. Um, he's been around for a while now. He's got a couple big wins playing up in the. I'm drawing a blank. Same conference as Montana. Montana, Big Sky.
Yeah.
Went down and um, gave UNLV all they could handle. So it's I like Cody Hawkins in that spot, moving up. Obviously, son of Dan Hawkins. I'm pretty sure that his imprint still on, as Kale said, his imprint still on the field at Memorial Stadium after Indomitian Sue killed him. So
His soul was permanently taken in
Yeah.
Memorial
yeah,
Stadium.
He's still got an imprint at about the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know which one of you guys want to go next, but
I'll go
I'll
next.
go.
I'll go.
Okay.
So we keep it in order on the sheet.
Okay.
So I'm also in the FCS. I take Brent Vegan from Montana State.
he got a big win yesterday.
Yeah.
That's
Like
a humongous win.
I just think that like what he's done there, and I asked this question because like if you're Brent Vegan, like do you take the Oregon State job if it's offered to you to get to FBS,
Yeah,
or do you
I get what
hold
you're
out?
saying.
Like is Montana State a better job than Oregon State right now?
Well,
That
that's a
yeah,
very valid question. One that you can probably. I mean, I wouldn't. I think you want to get to the FBS, but it's just like, man, you could be hand tying yourself going to Oregon State
Right.
right away, right out of the gate, like next year. Like
yeah.
let somebody else bridge the gap,
But
before
you could
taking it.
also look at the job that Jason Eck has done in his first year at New Mexico.
Right.
So I mean, it can go both ways.
It's
Right.
just
And
weird. It's weird because you're talking about Oregon State. Gosh, just 3 years ago they were viable in the Pac-12,
Yeah,
and now they're back into this just like the proverbial cellar of college football, and you're almost like there's no way out.
right.
maybe they'll bring Mike Riley back.
Oh, jeez.
Mike Riley is on the CFP committee.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go with mine,
All
and I
right.
actually think it's going to be an Oregon hometown Oregon guy, but he's an Oregon Duck.
Yeah.
Was, and he just got fired from Cal, so I changed that today. I think it's gonna be Justin Wilcox.
Man, that would be such a good hire for them.
Yep.
That would be
So,
massive.
and that's my only reasoning. I mean, I haven't put any thought into it. I have no idea who they even have on their
Yeah.
list. But now that he's available, like you have to reach out to him if you're Oregon State. Have
Right.
to.
Yeah.
I think you reach out to him if you're UCLA.
The
That's
interesting
probably a good
thing,
point too.
the interesting thing with that is I'm not even going to try and attempt the Cal quarterback's name, but he was committed to Oregon
Right.
Hmm.
for the longest time. So if Wilcox gets that Oregon State job, does he go with Wilcox to Oregon State?
You might.
Well, it's clear. It's clear to me that Oregon State needs a defensive. Well, they need anything they can get, but like they clearly give up a ton of points, and Wilcox is a defensive-minded guy anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Well, if you hire Wilcox, he might bring. Like I was looking at his roster today, and like I was reading an article of like I think it was Pete Thamel that wrote it that was like, hey, these are the guys for the next Cal coach that you have to retain. and it was like 5 guys, and it was the quarterback and then 5 defensive players or 4 defensive players. So those guys could all hop in the portal and just follow him up to Oregon State, and that fixes your defensive problem in a hurry.
Yeah.
Well, and Cal has like, it's weird thinking that when you put Cal Berkeley into the category of tough, that's a weird deal. Like, that feels like an oxymoron. But Cal's defense has largely been a strong point for them throughout Wilcox's tenure.
Yeah,
they're obviously outskilled and stuff and get blown out at times just because of roster. But like, when things are equal, like, they play pretty good defense.
Like this firing for Cal is just it's so weird to me. Like, Justin Wilcox got College Game Day to Cal last year.
Yeah. Yes.
Last year, College Game Day was at Cal for probably the first time ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what was so like weird to me with the whole Wilcox situation is this guy just lost half his freaking team to the transfer portal.
Right.
And he still has them competing.
Right. So I think really, like, I mean, they had a win over Minnesota.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, that loss to Duke and the way they lost it in the second half was pretty bad. I mean, that was that stupid late game.
Yeah.
You know, losing to Virginia Tech. And I mean, some of these people, I think it's an overreaction based on opponents' records. And we've talked about this before.
And like you talked about with the Stanford rivalry game.
Right. But it's like, okay, like, I don't think that there's a huge, like, 4-8, 5-7 is not anywhere near what it was when we were talking about this stuff 15 years ago.
Yes.
Like, the talent pool is so much more even that you can go 5-7 and be a pretty strong team comparatively to 15 years ago.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It's weird. Let's move on. UCLA, obviously their job came open. Tim Skipper had them on a nice little 3-game win streak there, and then they went back to reality. So I don't think Skipper's getting that job. And I think it's going to be Dan Mullen coming over from UNLV. He's done his redemption project and ready to get back into P4.
Yeah, we all have Dan Mullen, unless Colin, did you switch?
Yeah, no, this is a clean sweep.
Okay, so you can just put them all in there.
All right. Do you guys have anything to add then?
I think it just feels like a natural fit for his way back in. I know that UCLA is a tough freaking job, but they just signed that deal with SoFi Stadium too, or on their way to being.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's finalized, but
they got to go through a lawsuit.
Yeah, and I don't know if that attracts anybody, but like, it's just kind of interesting. It's progress, I guess, is what it looks like.
Well, and they said 14 miles closer to the stadium.
Right. I don't know if Dan Mullen's going to necessarily be at UCLA. It seemed like a good fit at the time when we started this. Back a month ago. You know, and there was a lot of jobs that weren't quite open yet.
Yeah.
I could see Dan Mullen making his way back to the SEC with either like an Auburn or an Arkansas, or, you know, some of those teams are going to strike out on who they want. And I mean, I don't think Dan Mullen is going to be back at UNLV.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we did this, like, probably for full transparency. We did this
a month ago.
Started this a month ago.
I think we did it right after the Billy Napier firing.
Yeah. So yeah, because Brian Kelly, I don't think was even on the list yet, was he?
No. All right, the next one is Penn State. I thought it was going to be Mike Elko. And then it kind of started to pick up, like, Pate started saying it, and then Klatt. And then the extension gets announced, and that is no longer happening. So I lose that one. But who do you guys think?
Terry Smith has to get this job. Like, Penn State is absolutely stupid, dumb. Like, look at what this dude has done with this program since they fired James Franklin. Like, when they fired James Franklin, this program, it was in shambles.
Yeah.
It was in shambles. It was headed the wrong direction. And Terry Smith has came in, stabilized the program, and this is not an overreaction to what happened last night when they played Nebraska. Like you go back and look at them playing Michigan State. He's letting his coordinators do their job, and it's making me wonder if James Franklin didn't have those guys' hands tied a little bit to not let those guys cook. Like they're playing with a backup quarterback right now, essentially. Like Drew Aller was talked about as a first-round draft pick in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people thought he was a Heisman contender, breaks his ankle. They turn to this redshirt freshman. They've got two great running backs, and he's just letting them cook. And they just ran Nebraska over last night. Like Nebraska had no answer. Like and the fans chanting "Hire Terry" last night. I just think at this point, and unless you go pull a big name, which I don't think they're going to, I think you might get a Tennessee Greg Schiano
deal
situation.
Kale, are you sticking?
I switched to Terry Smith after last night. Like I went in and changed that, but I originally had Brian Hartline. I think I've cooled on that.
I think that's who it's going to be now.
Like I don't know if it's going to be Brian Hartline or not, but I think that Colin makes a great point, and I've been kind of thinking about this, and I've mentioned this before, but I didn't take it from this Terry Smith angle. But I think that James Franklin somewhat had, like, him and Andy Kotelnicki, I don't think were a fit at all.
No,
like, I think that the Kotelnicki hiring was not even a James Frank. I don't know this for a fact, but I feel like this was something that was forced on James Franklin to get more dynamic on offense because of what they were doing at Kansas. Kotelnicki was, and so then, but then it never really kind of translated because we talked about this at length with the Jalen Daniels if he would have come out over with Kotelnicki, like what it would look like and blah blah blah, right? And it never really transpired with that Drew Aller. So I think that they were trying to somewhat play to Aller's strengths, and then now that he's injured, might have been one of the better things to happen for them too. Potentially,
right.
Like I don't know, it could have just been lightning in a bottle. Like fire Franklin, Aller gets hurt. Now they're kind of just like their offense looks completely different than what it did.
Yeah, their offense does not look completely different. Their offense looked like in the final 5 minutes versus Oregon when they damn near came back and beat them.
Yeah,
with rhythm.
Right,
Like so,
right.
I mean, like it's meshing is what.
Right. Like that's what makes me think that Kotelnicki was not didn't have the keys to the Ferrari. Like,
he was hampered.
Okay, this is kind of off topic and has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. But I actually feel this same way with Nebraska right now.
I wondered if this is where you're going.
I feel like Matt Rule is forcing John Butler to run a 3-3-5. Butler has no interest in a 3-3-5. And if you know Dana Holgorsen at all, and you've seen Dana Holgerson's teams play, whatever the hell this offense is that Nebraska is running is not anything remote to what Dana Holgorsen runs.
Right.
Like last night, we've seen a couple mesh concepts. You've seen a couple hitch concepts, things that Dana Holgorsen has been known for and good with. But and Rule has came out and said, and Holgorsen has said, I had to learn Nebraska's playbook. If there's one thing that Nebraska needs to do this offseason to fix what they got going on right now, it's throw Satterfield's playbook out the damn window into the Missouri River and get rid of the damn thing and restart. It makes me angry because everybody wants to complain about Nebraska's offensive and defensive line being bad. It's not players, guys. It's the damn scheme. It's the scheme that they're running. That is what is killing us.
We've all three fought that all year, that the O-line's not as bad as they're made out to be.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
especially once you start figuring that out, because like the first like the Michigan game, it was kind of like, well, what the heck is going on? Like, but what,
Yeah.
you know, we've been down that road a ton, and so like I think you hit a bunch of great points there that like, and it's the same. I think like what you're saying is it's completely the same at what Penn State's having with
Yes.
Kotelnicki,
Yeah.
Yes.
and so with Kotelnicki being able to kind of have the keys to the Ferrari, as you say, kind of see what they've been able to do. And I think, like, and that's with an inexperienced freshman quarterback.
Right.
Like, yeah. I
Are
was
you
gonna
going with
say,
Terry Smith?
gosh, I want to change mine back to actually, gosh, I kind of want to jump on the Kalen DeBoer train
Okay.
because that was not even a possibility when Brian Hartline's name was getting thrown around. And if
Are
Kalen DeBoer's a serious contender, as they say, because
are
he's apparently not happy at Bama.
well, I mean, he might get ran out of Bama. They're going to miss the playoffs for the second time in 2 years since he's been there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's a disconnect between what Kalen DeBoer is and does and what Bama wants.
Yeah. I.
So
It's gonna be interesting. I don't want to see that personally.
I do, just because I want to see it. I want to see what you have to do with it because you love Kalen DeBoer.
I know. Gosh. Like I said, I know I'm out on this one because I had Elko, but
If if we
I
would
think
have
it'll be
fought,
Heartline.
if we would have fired Scott Frost 1 year earlier, that's who I wanted to have come to Nebraska was Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah. I think we all talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
So Arkansas now. Obviously, there was a lot of news that came out this week that they're pretty hot on Campbell from Iowa State.
That's
I don't.
weird.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna stick with that or jump on that train. Um, I think it's gonna be Ryan Silverfield from Memphis,
Hmm. Really?
which would be interesting because they lost to Memphis this year.
Yeah, that's true. Um, I'm gonna go completely different from where I had it. I had it initially I had it as Bobby Petrino.
Yeah,
I just don't think that as much as they're like they didn't win that game against Texas, which I think that if they would have probably given him serious consideration,
yeah.
like you said. But I'm actually gonna go Eric Morris.
Okay.
So I've changed that a few times.
I think Morris could get that job. Um, but I think they're going to take a bigger swing than Eric Morris. And there's a guy right now that's got a pretty damn good football team that's on the edge of making the playoffs. And
Yeah.
his
I
head
love
coach
this
that was
guy.
there before him has a team that's going to be in the playoffs. I'm going with Bob Chesney from James Madison. Like they're going to follow the Indiana. They're going to try to strike lightning in the bottle. They're going to throw a whole Bob Chesney is either going to be at Arkansas or Auburn.
Yeah,
Those
I can
those
see
two
that.
might get in a bidding war for him.
Yeah, I can see that.
Interesting. Well, so what? So then, what if Bob Chesney goes to Auburn because he gets the bigger bid, and then that's what makes Eric Morris go to Arkansas?
Well, then if Bob Chesney goes to Auburn, I'll tell you who gets the Arkansas job when I give my Auburn pick.
Okay.
All right.
Because I think those two are interchangeable at either spot.
Okay.
All right.
I like it.
Oklahoma State is this one.
Eric Morris.
That's who I
Like
have. Too.
Oklahoma
Morris.
State, I actually was in a establishment in Tulsa last week trying to figure out. I haven't told you guys this. So we're down at Tulsa for national duels last week, and Oklahoma State is playing K-State. Their game gets done. I'm in a sports bar, and Oklahoma's playing Bama. And all these Oklahoma State people are cheering for Oklahoma like they would every Saturday. And it was just the weirdest thing in the world to me. I'm like, why are Oklahoma State people cheering for Oklahoma? Like,
Hmm.
like it's like I viewed it as me as a Nebraska fan. There is no way in hell on my life that I would ever cheer for A, Iowa, B, Colorado. Like, and I'm just like I just assumed that was the case in Oklahoma too. Like, if you're
Yeah.
an Oklahoma State fan, you're never cheering for Oklahoma. If you're an Oklahoma fan, you're never cheering for Oklahoma State. And these people are just cheering for Oklahoma against Bama like there's no tomorrow. And so I got into a discussion with a guy, and we were talking about Eric Morrison, and I would make a 2-for-1 deal, and he would be bringing his quarterback with him.
Yeah.
Sorry about your Gretna boy, Cody, but
I was gonna play
he
the old
he ain't him for
no.
Oklahoma State.
Well,
Yeah.
Drew Mestamaker, I'm
Yeah,
going with.
yes. I would say you get this job, you can fill in the check and bring Drew Westmaker with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kale, who are you going with?
I'm going with Dana.
No shot.
I'm not going to even give any reasons. That's just what I'm thinking. Because well, here's the one reason. I don't think Dana Holgerson is a BS guy, and if there's not some serious changes where he gets to run his offense instead of him being this selfless little dude about learning freaking Sats offense, then I can see him leaving for a better if with an offer somewhere.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what's the point of me wanting to try to keep forcing this freaking peg into or square peg into a round hole? It's not a fit.
I don't see Holgerson leaving Nebraska. I mean I honestly I don't know that he's done enough at Nebraska yet for people to warrant him becoming a head coach again, if that makes sense.
I don't think he wants to be a head coach
Right.
again.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
But if
And
he is a head coach, Oklahoma State would make so much sense, though.
it would.
So, I mean, I could see that. All right, we now have probably the two best job openings on the market currently. Um, I'll go first on Florida. I think it's going to be Lincoln Riley.
Why?
Taking his offense to Florida. I know the whole leaving Oklahoma, blah blah blah, going to the USC because whatever. I don't want to go to the SEC. I don't know if there's any truth to that. I just think he's ready to move on from USC. And I think it would be such a great fit with his offense at Florida and getting those athletes down there and giving him DJ Lagway could hopefully change Lagway's career. Stop throwing interceptions.
Lagway ain't even going to be there.
He's going to be at Georgia after getting the offer after the game.
Lagway's going to be in the portal.
Yeah, if they get Lincoln Riley, I think Lagway stays. But yeah, I'm going with Lincoln Riley for the Florida job.
I'm all in on the Lane train. Lane train going to Florida. Like I kind of mentioned it earlier. Like Florida's in a better spot administrative wise. I think there's more money in Florida, and I think the talent pool of players that he can go recruit is better in Florida. And so I think when he looks at LSU and Florida, the two jobs that he's going to have head to head, I think he's going to go to Florida.
Who has the better Pilates instructor? Because that's going to be a big deal for old Lane Train.
Yeah. Whichever AD will go do hot yoga with him.
Right. Scott Strickland going and doing hot yoga.
Scott Strickland's got to find a baseball coach too now, apparently.
Yeah. That's insane too.
All right. Here's what
Who
I got
are you
for
going
you.
with?
Someone from the Pacific Northwest.
Oh,
Fish.
Cody's going to be mad.
Yep, Jed Fish.
And he's going to bring his quarterback with him because he's not going to have DJ Lagway there. Is that? Are you wiping?
He's wiping tears.
Yeah, Cody's just wiping tears away.
It's terrible news, boys. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Jed Fish. I think that Lane's going to end up Lane's going to either go to LSU or he knows that Kalen DeBoer is going to Penn State, and then Lane's going to go to Bama. Potentially.
Dang, that would be something. Like how Josh Pate keeps saying the 11th hour phone call. Watch out with Lane Kiffin.
Yep.
That would be Alabama.
Yep.
Damn.
Especially if Auburn wins that Iron Bowl.
Yeah, that could happen too, man. Auburn wins, they go to a bowl game. They're 5-6 currently.
And they can score all of a sudden.
Yeah. Quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So that brings us now to LSU, and that's where I have Lane Kiffin going as LSU.
I have Lane Kiffin going there as well, but I want to put an asterisk next to his name just because of the
Alabama.
Yes.
Well, you have Alabama down below.
Okay. Well, then keep it blank.
All right.
I think now I'm going back to what Colin actually is going to say, because I initially had that when I thought that Kiffin was going to Florida, but I think it's going to be John Summerall.
Yeah, they're going to stay in state, and they're going to end up. I mean, Summerall knows the lay of the land. He's got. I mean, if LSU doesn't get Lane Kiffin, their plan B has to be John Summerall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't think there's any chance of Marcus Freeman?
No,
not with the way that the college football playoff committee's treated Notre Dame. There's no reason to.
And LSU's already been down the former Notre Dame head coaching.
Yeah.
Man, if you're I'll save it for another time, but man, Marcus Freeman's in such a good position. Like Notre Dame is in good position as a college football entity.
Yes. Like if you're Marcus Freeman, the only place you're leaving Notre Dame for is the NFL. I think.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. But then why?
Yeah.
But why?
Right.
Why?
Right.
So.
Yeah, man. That Summerall being that guy, do you think he keeps Blake Baker since Summerall is a defensive guy?
Yes.
That'd be the smart thing to do. So,
well, and
Colorado.
Here's another thing. So another reason why I have John Summerall at LSU is because I initially had him going to Florida State, but now freaking Norvell's staying at Florida State. So can't have that.
Yeah. Now we get to Colorado State. This is a crapshoot at Colorado State.
I don't think it is.
I think Colin's spot on. He told me about this when I was in Kearney.
It's Tim Skipper. Like he's getting his run as the head coach right now at UCLA. Like he's been at Colorado State as an associate head coach and a linebackers coach before. I originally thought, Kale, I think where you were going with this is I originally thought that Tim Skipper played at Colorado State. He actually played at Fresno State. He's coached at Colorado State before and been the associate head coach. So he knows the lay of the land. Again, I think this is not a good job. I think Colorado State's a really bad job because every good football player that's in Colorado leaves Colorado. They don't play for a Colorado school. So I think they're going to end up with Tim Skipper.
Is Colorado State a part of that Pac-12 deal?
No.
Okay, but eventually, I bet they will.
Probably
because I think they're gonna expand further, and then eventually just kind of absorb some of that Mountain West. Mountain West will just cease to exist.
No, after they lost those teams, they added more teams into it.
Yeah, they got
but they're all
Northern
east of
Illinois.
freaking. Yeah, they're all way east. I could see Northern Illinois falling back into the MAC or something, after the Mountain West dissolves and gets eaten up.
Yeah. I'm going with someone that Colin's going to be super pissed about. I'm going with Mike Eckler.
Well, that's because it's just dumb. That's why I'm going to be super pissed about it. Like, I know me and Cale actually talked about this, and I know of one guy ever in my life that has went from being a special teams coordinator to being a head coach.
And I didn't know this. I didn't know this when you told me.
One guy that has ever done it, and it's Rich Bisaccio.
I say Bisaccia.
Yeah, went from being the Raiders special teams coordinator to the head coach, and failed miserably at it. And Eckler, Eckler is not leaving Nebraska to go be a head coach. Like, he could probably make more money being the special teams coordinator at Nebraska than he can the head coach at Colorado State.
That is a real possibility. I just think he wants his opportunity for a head coach, and he's a Midwest guy.
Well, yeah, he's from David City, Nebraska.
Yeah. So I think he would take this job and recruit Midwest hard, Nebraska, Kansas, what you can get in Colorado. I think he's ready for that opportunity.
It's an interesting take, because you've been saying this for weeks now. And my personal opinion is that you don't get a head coaching job based off of juice alone.
Right.
And he's obviously a player's coach, and he brings a ton of juice and stuff, like Matt Rule talks about how Eckler's got to stop touching him and stuff,
Yeah.
So he's obviously he's just one of those dudes that players love playing. Like when he was at Nebraska the first time, when he left, it was frick, we didn't want to see him leave. And so I don't know. I don't agree with Mike Eckler going to Colorado State. Colin laid out all the reasons why that I wouldn't even have thought of, but I went with my FCS guy, Brent Vegan, because it's not far from Montana or Montana State, whichever one. Which one is it's Montana State?
Montana State, yeah.
Montana State.
And so if he's gonna jump, he could jump, but then gosh, again, what's the if I said no to Oregon State, what's the freaking difference than going to Colorado State?
Yeah.
My basis of not going to Oregon State is because it sucks. Well,
Colorado State's worst.
Yeah, I think Colin. That's my point. I think Colin, you made a great point about how this is a really bad job, and I personally don't want Colorado State to be a bad job, because I kind of like them. It's a weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ganja's too prominent there in the whole, Colorado.
Now we move on to Stanford, and they might keep Steichen for all I know, but I went with Pat Fitzgerald.
You mean Frank Reich?
Yeah, right. I don't know why I said Shane Steichen. Yeah, Frank Reich. But no, I'm going with Pat Fitzgerald. He knows his way around all the academic standards at Northwestern.
Okay. You guys have thrown this name out a lot, Pat Fitzgerald. I don't think he can get a head coaching job.
Why?
Arkansas interviewed him.
I think it's going to be a bad look based on. I know that everything that happened at Northwestern got dismissed and all that, but I don't foresee a team I think he's going to have to go to. Nick Saban's coaching rehabilitation school is not open anymore. It's currently closed. But I think he's going to have to get back into the game as a coordinator or something somewhere before somebody's going to take him on as a head coach.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, who do you got, Colin?
I got a guy. I actually just changed this today. It's a guy that's going back to the West Coast. He's been on the West Coast before. He knows the West Coast, and he's got a pretty darn good football team right now. Jim Mora.
Oh, okay. UConn.
Interesting. UConn has been that's been a surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been bad ever since they played in that New Year's Six BCS freaking game was years ago.
Yeah.
Like ever since then, they have been atrocious. And so
Bob Diaco killed him.
Oh boy, I forgot about that name.
And Jim Mora is going to have to get a different job anyways because his running back's going to go in the portal and end up at Nebraska.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go with a natural connection to Andrew Luck.
I actually like this pick.
Pep Hamilton, the offensive coordinator from Maryland. So he was the he has the connection, obviously. Didn't know this. I had to look this up a long time ago. I had to re-look it up before I even talked about it.
But it was Andrew Luck's OC.
Yeah, that's what it was. And from 2010 to 2012.
Didn't he go from being Stanford? He was the OC at Stanford, I believe. And then I think he followed Luck to the NFL and was the OC at the Colts when Luck was there.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, there's some connection there.
Yeah. I see that.
Could make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with Andrew Luck's role, obviously within Stanford right now, seems like a natural fit.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah, I hadn't even thought of Pet. That makes a ton of sense. Now, UAB is interesting because.
Hold on. Now, does that mean that Maryland's quarterback goes with him?
No.
Dude.
I mean, I know that there's some academic stuff there too, maybe, but
no.
He's a Loxley guy.
Yeah.
It's a quarterback's coach at Maryland too. Hamilton is.
Yep. I just don't think. I don't know what kind of offense he would run there.
Probably the same one he's running at Maryland.
Probably would probably be running 13 personnel all the time, and
yeah.
Well, that's what made Stanford good when Luck was there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Extra guards, tackles, tight ends. I mean, Jaworski Lane as a freaking. I mean, that's A&M, but
Yeah.
Toby Gerhart, freaking massive dude.
Fullbacks playing running backs, tight ends playing fullbacks, and tackles playing tight ends.
Some sort of reincarnation of Mike Allstott.
Kale's way of living.
You bet. So, all right, UAB is, I think, a crapshoot.
So, I don't know who wants this job, especially after the news that came out yesterday.
Yeah, right.
What
That's
happened?
wild,
I missed
man.
it.
You missed this?
Oh,
O linemen showed up to their football facilities and stabbed two defensive players stemming from a fight the day before. Like, they should have probably just left this program cut the way it sounds, maybe. Jeez.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, that's bad.
So, I'm just throwing a name out there because he needs to write his name and clear his record. I went with Billy Napier. Plus, he has a duty to find a job.
I went with Neil Brown just because I threw a name out there.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, he had success with Troy down there in Alabama, so
yeah, like
could be.
I initially had Gus Malzahn there because I thought that the whole Florida State thing was just gonna. I thought everybody was gonna be leaving.
Yeah.
And so now I don't, and now I don't have a name. I didn't even think about replacing that because it's UAB. So I don't know. Give me jeez, I don't know. Give me some freaking coordinator from a lower level P4 team, I'd guess.
Maybe. Hey, whoever their interim is might get the job. They beat Memphis.
Yeah.
It's true.
But he also might be fired because he had players stabbing each other yesterday. So.
That's not funny, but oh my god.
Right.
I know.
Oh gosh.
All right. Well, there's our UAB segment for the show.
They got more airspace.
I know.
OCDC lower level school.
Yeah. Auburn, I'm going with Alex Golesh. And it just, to me, makes a lot of sense there for him to go on with his style of play, with what Auburn wants to do. So that's where I landed on.
So I went Alex Golesh as well. I think if Alex Golesh is not at Auburn, I think he's at Arkansas.
Okay, so this is the one you were referencing
right.
earlier.
I think Golesh probably is the better candidate between him and Bob Chesney right now.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think if you're stacking the two jobs next to each other, I think Golesh is going to be the first pick, first pick, and I think he's going to pick Auburn, and which leads Chesney to Arkansas. If Auburn hires Chesney, I think Golesh goes to Arkansas because that's where Golesh's wife is from. So I could see them going back there.
Yeah. I can see that. Kale, who'd you go with?
Back up on UAB for a second.
Okay.
Casey Woods is who I'm going with. He's an assistant.
Who is that?
He's an assistant in SMU. He's apparently the leading candidate. So they basically cheated.
Okay. So I'll put an asterisk with that.
Yeah.
All right. Now for your Auburn hire.
Well, I can't remember. Who did I have initially? Because
You have Chesney.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Leave it there.
Okay.
Yep.
Bob Chesney. Well, Bobby boy. All right, Cal. Now, this is where I have the name you guys have already brought up. I have Brent Vegan going to Cal.
Okay.
I have Sean Lewis, current head coach at San Diego State.
He's old.
Well, you know what? He's not that old. But I just think, obviously, if Cal fired Wilcox, they weren't happy with the direction their offense was playing, right? Yeah. So when you have Wilcox as a defensive guy, and clearly you're apparently not happy with the offensive play, what do? You go get the guy that's the offensive genius.
Yeah.
And that's what Sean Lewis is known for.
Is Cal Berkeley committed to football?
Ask Marshawn Lynch.
My question is Cal in a better position to succeed in the ACC than San Diego State will in the new Pac-12?
They're going to get a better shot as an ACC member.
Right.
A better shot at what?
The playoff.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
The ACC is a Power 4. The Pac-12 is not going to be ever in that conversation.
I know that, but I'm saying as a G5, and especially as an expanded playoff if it gets to 16.
No,
what's the difference in terms of money and travel?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely an issue. But
I'm not trying to play devil's advocate.
No,
I think you're wrong.
I know.
I would think of.
I think being in a Power 4 conference is worth it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You brought something up that's very interesting, Colin, with this whole Sean Lewis situation. And it could be the same for Vegan too, I guess, but does Cal make this move if they don't already have a coach Like, do you think that they knew they were going to fire Wilcox, and they were just waiting till they had the coach they wanted?
Yeah, might be the guy they hired as the interim coach.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
Rolovich.
yeah. Like I think he's got to be considered.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he did a pretty damn good job at Hawaii and at Washington
Washington
State.
State.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
didn't he get fired from Washington State though for something?
He got fired because he refused to get the jab,
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Cal
and then
probably.
sued Washington State for wrongful termination and won.
Yeah, Cal probably ain't a fan of that though either. That he doesn't have the jab. So
Yeah. All
Okay.
right, Kale.
Well, this is gonna shock you. Well, I think there's two options, and the one I can't stand. Like it drives me nuts that this is a potential. I think Tosh Lupoy could be the guy. I'm not. Don't put it in. Do not put
All
it
right.
in. That's not where I'm going. I think Tosh Lupoy could. I didn't think he was going to be the guy at UCLA. I don't necessarily think he wants to get out of the Big Ten and freaking just go coach at Berkeley. But I do think, for whatever reason, like I don't think the Cal's going to try to get another defensive guy as their coach.
right.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to flip on this and go with Cody's boy down in Tuscaloosa,
Ryan
Ryan
Grubb.
Grubb, because he was in the Northwest of Washington. He knows that area.
Yep. Yeah, and if you got DeBoer going to Penn State, does Grubb try and go get his own head coaching job?
Mm-hmm. Instead of just fall, I mean, and maybe it's just time to get the Kalen DeBoer Ryan Grubb thing to separate.
Yeah.
Well,
Even
they
though
were
it was
separated.
last
Last
year,
year.
I know. But I mean, permanently, they can stop being attached at the hip.
Yeah.
I think if I'm Ryan Grubb, I take the OC job at Penn State over the head coaching job at
Yeah,
Cal.
Cal. Yeah. But all right, now we can just kind of do a rapid fire. These are just who we think fills the spots that we took. UNLV is
Hey, you need to list uh, Montana State for me
and me.
and Idaho
And me.
State for you.
I also need James Madison on mine.
All right. So we have UNLV, and I had Jason Eck from New Mexico. I know it's the same conference, but I think there's a lot more financial stability at UNLV. I think it's a bigger job for as far as a stepping stone.
Mm-hmm.
And where would you rather live, Vegas or Albuquerque?
Can't argue with it.
I have Brennan Marion
Okay.
going back.
That was my other option for Cal. If they don't take Vegan, take Marion.
I actually have.
Now, do I add these jobs down at the bottom?
Whatever
Well, I
you want to do.
guess whatever you want to do.
All right. Who'd you have, Kale?
I had Will Stein.
Ooh. I think he'd get a bigger job, don't you think?
Maybe.
All right. You're the only one with Alabama, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
So for Memphis, I think I'm the only one that had Memphis. And for Memphis, I had Tyson Helton.
Okay.
You two have JMU if you want to jump on that one.
I had a name on this, and for some reason, I don't have it up anymore. So I got to look this back up.
Yeah, I don't have mine either. Boy. Maybe skip JMU for a sec.
Yeah.
Okay. So North Texas is one that we all have.
I've been Arbuckle.
Okay.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you have him for Tulane.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, I have Mac Leftwich. That's right.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be a great hire.
Yeah. Mac Leftwich could also get a bigger job.
Yes. For me, at North Texas, I have Andy Kotelnicki.
I have Mike Collins. I believe he's on staff already. So, I think he's the OC. I can't remember.
Oh, I know.
Time ago.
I had their defensive coordinator at JMU. That's right.
Yeah, JMU's D coordinator.
Yeah, Colin Hitchler.
Gail's still figuring out his.
Ole Miss. That's where I think Ryan Silverfield goes.
Okay.
Oh, I need Ole Miss on mine. Obviously. Ole Miss, I had Manny Diaz. But I'm not so sure that's going to be the thing now. I mean, a month ago I was pretty high on that. But
yeah,
for the sake of time and ease.
And that's where I had John Summerall.
I can't figure out why I had Mike Collins, North Texas, right now. I don't think maybe he's is that Tarleton State's guy?
Maybe.
I don't know. Mike Collins, coach in football.
Oh man.
For Tulane, that's where I have Arbuckle going. He's gonna get a head coaching job.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. And Mateer's leaving, so he has nothing to really tie himself to.
Right. There's three guys. I don't have the other two on there, but the other two current offensive coordinators that I think end up with jobs somewhere are Will Stein and Colin Klein.
Yeah.
I think those guys both get
Klein to Tulane would make sense too.
I could see like an Arkansas hiring Klein.
Yeah. Now, I have SC up next, and for USC, I had Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh, Clifford.
Mm-hmm. Do you got a Washington guy?
Alex Golash.
Going from one freaking end of the country to the other. Literally.
Yeah. All right. Now, I think we all three have USF open. And for USF, I had Gus Malzahn.
Charlie Weiss Jr.
I have him somewhere else.
I have Cody Burns. I believe he's the one that was on staff.
For USF?
Yeah.
Did you ever figure out where Mike Collins is at?
Yeah, I think it is Tarleton State.
They got the number 4 overall seed in the FCS playoffs. All right, now we get to the nitty. Well, we have Tulane before we get to the nitty gritty. So
Dude, he is
Tulane.
not on Tarleton State's roster or staff. I don't know where I got this name. It's such a common thing too. What in the
Yeah.
world? Oh well.
So for Tulane, that is where I had Charlie Weiss Jr. going.
That's where I have. I think I have him there too.
Good,
Mike?
because I accidentally just typed it in for
Mike
you.
Collins is at UL Monroe,
Yes.
and he's 64.
I don't think Mike Collins is leaving.
You must have just been looking for a name.
I think I
Yeah.
was. Yeah, I'll switch that eventually, but for not now.
Yeah. So for Montana State, I think we all have the same person.
Actually, throw North Texas, change it to Jordan Davis. He's their offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach
Okay.
at North Texas. So
Are we all going with the Nebraska native for Montana State?
Pete Sturbick?
Yep.
You betcha.
yeah,
Seems like a good fit.
Yeah. Damn it. Sturbrick. I spelled Montana State wrong.
it's not me tonight.
I know, it's Colin. Clicking your pen.
Normally
Sorry.
that's me. Well, obviously, Cody's the one calling it out all the time.
Yeah. All right, you two have a JMU.
Yeah,
Oh, Colin had Colin
yeah.
had Colin Hitchler.
Yeah.
Kale, you have a JMU.
Nope,
All right.
nope, not yet.
All right. For Idaho State, I had Buddy Blevins. That's their current offensive coordinator.
Okay.
For UConn,
Yep.
I had no idea. I have no idea who they were hiring. I threw a name out there because I don't think the dude's coaching football yet, and he's going to be looking for a job. Brian Kelly.
At UConn?
Mm-hmm.
That I could see that. He's got the same thing these others guys, where he has to go try and make an effort to find a job. And now, my one I have left is New Mexico. And New Mexico is where I had Tim Skipper.
Okay. I have for Duke because of Diaz leave. I had Jason Candle. Isn't he at Toledo?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So sticking with that.
So you have JMU in Toledo. Colin has San Diego State, Sac State, Memphis.
Okay, Memphis. I have Will Stein.
Okay.
That's where I have Will or no, I have Colin Klein at Toledo.
Okay.
I have Kenny Merchant taking the Sacramento State job.
That's a badass name.
Are they gonna win are they gonna end up coming up?
They're trying. They have all the money in the world, but the Pac-12 won't let them into the conference.
And then my last school, again, I really had no idea if Sean Lewis leaves San Diego State. I have no idea who takes that job, but I'm going to take a shot because I think this dude would make a great head coach. Roy Manning.
Roy, what?
Manning.
Like Mark?
Yes.
Williams?
All right, now we just have JMU for Kale.
Casey Keeler. Oh, jeez. He's old. But he's at Temple, apparently. Some random freaking thing that says if he it's KC as in K.C.
Okay.
So, is there
Keeler is Keeler.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Before we get off this, is there any other jobs right now that because like Wisconsin came out and said that they're keeping, is there any other jobs that you kind of got a close eye on that you think would be coming open? Because I think we might be done with firings. I do think there's one job that might come open yet that this dude could just be done coaching.
Utah?
Nope.
Iowa?
Nope.
I'm going to follow your line here because I think there is one job that could come open in the SEC because he's talked about for every single job out there.
Texas?
No.
Sarkisian?
Drink.
Oh, drink one. Yeah. I think so. But I think he's happy at Missouri.
Yeah.
And I did see a stat yesterday that he is not very good against top 25 teams. That's not the I think I see this guy retiring from coaching and being done. He's had some health issues supposedly lately. Yeah. That's the
health issues. Yeah.
That's the only job that I've kind of got an eye on, and they're not very good.
I have that on my list on the other sheet.
And I think you could see a lot of their guys hit the portal that are as high profile guys because they're so bad.
Yeah.
Like, and I think you've kind of seen it. Like, they lost Travis Hunter, they lost Shadur, like they kind of lost all their good guys. And now you kind of see the whole circus, like with Warren Sapp out there kicking over pylons. And like, I don't think those guys are very good coaches. Like, and I can see, and especially if Shadur's apparently now the Browns starting quarterback, like Dion was at the game today. Like, he's going to want to go watch Shadur play in the NFL. Like, and I think this was his way, like this was his bye year of like, hey, I didn't leave because Shadur was gone.
I left because of health.
Yep.
Like, I stuck it out a year.
Yep.
And truly the dude might be leaving because of health at this point. He probably rightfully should.
I have a name now for Colorado.
Kale had this on his list prior.
But I don't want to pick him.
You're not going with him?
No, because it's like, I don't think that Dan Hawkins had a freaking great relationship.
Yeah. Do you want me to add Colorado to yours?
Yes.
Colin, do you?
I mean, you can. I just have no idea.
Yeah.
Like,
I know exactly where they're going.
Where?
Ryan Walters.
Yeah. Oh, gross.
I get what you're saying there, though.
He failed at Purdue. And then what's going to happen is Joel Klatt's going to leave the media booth and go to the sideline.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't they play together?
Yes.
I don't even have any names for Colorado at this point. I just think that job could come open.
Shermer?
Like
Shermer get offered?
No, absolutely not. Their offense is putrid. Like, honestly, if Colorado does have to open, or it does end up opening, like, that could be a job that Will Stein gets.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stein or Lapoy.
And then which would mean Colin Klein would go to Memphis.
Yeah.
I also the other name out there that I could see getting a head coaching job is Tyson Helton, Western Kentucky. Like he could end up
I think I have
climbing
him.
the ladder. He could end up climbing the ladder somewhere.
I have him. I have him going to Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to fill Western Kentucky. And I think I did have that filled. I did, and I had Jerry Neuheisel.
Old sunshine.
I don't feel good about that one, but
Jeez. Just get him off my TV screen, please.
Dude's got some locks on him, huh?
It's unbelievable.
So there's our show with the coaching carousel. We'll do our top 30 Wednesday because I don't know if everyone got their rankings in.
I didn't even do mine yet.
Okay, so we'll do that, and we'll do our reaction to the college football playoff, and then we have an absolute banger of a weekend. So with the short week, we will be recording Tuesday night for a Wednesday show, and thank you for joining us. Thank you, Colin, for coming on tonight.
Thanks,
fun.
guys.
See you later, y'all.